Vol fans will certainly be busy this week with Tennessee baseball back in town, and also because of the Knoxville Smokies returning home after a 6-game series in Florida, but maybe also because of who they're playing. VFL Christian Moore makes his return to Rocky Top with the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and as he steps out onto the field this week in a town that feels like home, he says it's a bit of a surreal moment.
That I don't know yet. When I step out on the field, and I'm gonna be in that blue instead of that orange, it's probably feel a little weird, but it's like I said, it's a beautiful thing to have more baseball in Knoxville, and I'm so blessed to be able to play here.
And he hopes that despite being the opponent this week, he's looking forward to hearing the support of Vol fans throughout the week.
I was coming down the elevator and thinking, like, this is gonna feel like kind of like a home game to me. I'm at home. I got my kind of have my fans, in a way. So yeah, it's kind of in a way. Well, we'll see when I step in the box.
And for the second baseman, his first year in the pros has certainly been an adjustment period, and expectedly so. And as he gets settled in with the Rocket City Trash Pandas, he actually says he relies on what he learned while being a Tennessee Volunteer.
Playing every day here, we did that in the fall. Coach V, we scrimmage a lot. So I think that definitely helped me. Used to getting at bats, used to, being at the field every day, having a schedule. Definitely in the weight room, Q does a great job with us and the guys there right now. So definitely building that and having a routine in the weight room. Obviously it changes with team to team, but you still have what gets you ready every day, kind of cold tub, hot tub, stretches, routines that you build at such a, when you're 18, 17 years old, when you first come in, that it carries with you throughout your whole career.
Especially over the last handful of years, VFLs are starting to fill up major minor league rosters, and while Christian Moore certainly is continuing to chase his dream of being called up to the majors, he had a bit of a funny moment earlier this season wherein he had his kind of welcome to the show kind of moment back in spring training.
Definitely when I went to spring training, and I got my first AB, and my legs were shaking again for when I felt like I was a freshman here. So it was like, okay, like this is, you see, a Mariners jersey, like a real, kind of like a real jersey. You see a picture and you're like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. So that's definitely when it all kind of set in for me.
Really holding on to that moment, and it's allowing him to kind of stay focused on the now while he does chase his dreams of being called up.
When you're at Tennessee, it's something that you think about, getting drafted early, being in the big leagues. And then when you see the people before you do it, it's like, wow, like I actually have a chance. And then you do it, and it's like, all right, then now I want to be like that. So now I'm kind of chasing them a little bit. I got to play against Beck in spring training, and he hit a ball over the batter's eye, and he looked at me and laughed, and I was like, dude, you're just insane. So again, like just chasing him again, just trying to be in his position, kind of the same mindset I had when I was at Tennessee. One day I'm gonna be just like him.
It's important to make the right decisions, like when to go for it on fourth down, or when to kick the field goal or go for the touchdown. It's also important to make the right insurance decisions, too. That's why my office, Trey McAdams State Farm, is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Our office will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages, so you'll know what to expect when the unexpected happens. With Trey McAdams State Farm, it's easy to make the right call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Proud sponsor of the Tennessee Vols.
And despite the hectic schedule, and especially in the minor leagues with their 6-game series, he does a good job of keeping tabs on his former team with Tony Vitello and those Vols. And he kind of maybe has a sentiment maybe more Vol fans should carry while Tennessee kind of is in this rough patch.
You get to wear that jersey every day because, you proved that to V, you proved that to everybody. So you don't have to prove it to anybody anymore. Just go out there and play. Once, I think we're in week 7 right now or something like that. So, right now it's just crunch time. It's my favorite time of the year, playoff baseball. So, I hope they know and fans know, if we get to host or whatever, how that shapes out, please be there, please cheer them on because they definitely need you.
And of course, the trip would not be complete if Christian Moore was not able to make some time to see his former head coach and Tony Vitello, the rest of the coaches, and his former teammates. So he does say he will be making time to do so, but he was hoping he was going to be more of a surprise. But he says his former head coach, Tony Vitello, kind of beat him to the punch there. But he's certainly looking to hang out with the team for a little bit this week.
Say hi to him. Obviously I'm in town for a little bit, so just hopefully bring some good mojo over there and just bring some good vibes.
Yeah, and hopefully Christian Moore might have the right message to help the team get some of that mojo back this week, not only when they play host to Northern Kentucky tonight, but also when they get ready for their 3-game series against the Auburn Tigers. Of course, we'll have all of the post-game coverage that you could want here at Full Disclosure this week, so certainly make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that conversation and maybe some of what Christian Moore is able to do this week. I'll talk to you guys later tonight.